The flavor is like enjoying an aromatic chocolate symphony in the middle of a forest sitting on a campfire log.
Yeah, a bit more floral. You're going to get a bit more of that chamomile spice, a bit more of cardamom coming through in the finish, but still really clean, really nice, really easy drinking, a nice kind of sipping martini.
It's fresh, it's pretty light. You know, the horseradish is a prominent part of the drink, but it's really well balanced because it is just a classic sour recipe.
If it's up to my creativity, it's about classic design, architecture. Tends to be gin or American whiskey. In this case, it's American whiskey, and taking the template of something like a Manhattan, where it's a lot of whiskey, a little bit of fortified wine, some bitters, and creating complexity and depth and richness.
I kind of start from the end and work my way back. So, like with this, I remember someone asked me, like, what do you want it to be? And I just said I want it to be like that summer drink that you drink and you remember that time last summer, you know?
Different things every time, I guess. Oftentimes it's maybe one star ingredient or something you're trying to build around, and then complement that with components that make sense. I keep things pretty simple though and classic typically.
And a key element to bring out some of those floral aspects of the gin, I've made a beautiful spiced chamomile flower ice cube. So my idea behind this cocktail is the evolution as you drink it. So the slow dilution of a little bit of chamomile and spice that'll really punch out all the flavors, the floral nuances, a little bit of the fresh citrus characteristics of the gin cocktail.
I mean, something like the Four Horsemen, I got inspired because I love Maker's 46. I love them at the style of what a Manhattan embraces. So that was my inspiration there. And obviously New Year's Eve, was looking for some creativity there. And then the theme came about 4 ingredients, 4 horsemen. Each ingredient represents a different horseman. You get deeper into it as you develop it.
I'm inspired by nouns, so a person, a place, a thing. I've created cocktails on cars, like about cars, cocktails about operatic performers, about dancers, music, songs. So I'm basically looking for one particular thing for the hook, and then everything else comes from there.
Right now I focus a lot on food and drink pairing. So for me, even sometimes tasting a really sour lambic beer could be inspiring with a really spicy dish just as a palate cleanser. Behind the bar we really focus on classic cocktails and how they can influence us, and finding that little balance and tweaking and just how you can take a classic and still personalize it to something completely new.